Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. And we should have ourselves a good one here today. We are on the map Site Delta, the AI edition, of course. And in the bottom right, it's going to be none other than Eris. I wonder how many times I've cast this bot in the past. It's probably quite a few. And that is because Eris is a very good macro Zerg. So it's kind of like if you're doing science experiments. You know how you want the control and then the whatever the experiment is, I guess. Eris is the control when it comes to these bot games. The bot authors have programmed a Zerg bot that plays sort of like pro Zergs do, and just playing it safe, macroing up, but then also sort of cutting corners in a way that rarely gets punished, it seems. And so taking on Eris, and gonna be the underdog, I'd say, in this one, it's gonna be none other than EvilZoe. And yeah, EvilZoe, a very good Zerg bot. It can be a bit aggressive. It's known for its LING run-bys, but we have seen it play some good late game. And we're going to see how well it does. And the reason why I like casting these like Zerg versus Zerg mirror matchups is because you can really see the sort of stylistic changes and choices the bot authors made when it came to selecting a strategy to program, the things they focused on and whatnot. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these bot games, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit 2.3 million likes on this video, that would be amazing. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I pretty much post daily StarCraft videos here on the channel. And then leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. Or let me know if you were to program a bot, what language, what strategy you'd pick. Anything in the comments down below does help with that YouTube algorithm, and I do enjoy hearing your guys' thoughts. We do have a couple lings on the way on both sides. Eris, notably, builds up a bit of minerals, but then dumps them into queens. And actually, we already have a third base on the way for EvilZoe, so EvilZoe, actually, the bot that gets the third base up faster. Eris does like to go for a fast third base, but it also sort of looks at what its opponent's doing, sometimes cancels that, and in this case is just getting out a little bit later. Now we have got overlords crossing the map, lings running all over the place on both sides of the map. It's like EvilZoe ran on in with those lings. What's gone down this game? Just those two scouting lings. And now we actually have Eris firing up quite a few lings of its own. And this is not a defensive amount of lings, this is an aggressive amount of lings. EvilZoe is going to see this coming, but I don't know if it's going to be prepared for it. We see a spine crawler get thrown up as a reaction probably to all these lings being produced. That roach horn's on the way, and the third base soon could be becoming a bit of a liability for the blue Zerg. Drones are getting pulled because that spine crawler needs to get up. However, it's being worked on. It's already been canceled. EvilZoe is making all the lings that it can to try and hold on here, but man, it is outnumbered. As queens are helping with the defense, drones get injured, then run on out of there. I mean, everyone is helping in this defense. EvilZoe is currently on even workers to Eris, and it is cleaning up a lot of the lings as its own lings pop on out, and the queens really helped out there, sort of forming a great wall with almost like a drone stream helping to defend that. And now with EvilZoe producing its own lings, is taking an okay fight. If we look at the supply right now, it's actually only about 10 lings on either side of the map. EvilZoe is getting up a spine crawler again. It's producing another drone. Not sure it needs a drone, but it's also making more lings, more queens, and that spine crawler on the way is so important because in StarCraft 2, spine crawlers are very good against Zerglings. They can be surrounded, but their +1 armor makes them very good. And they're high attack because you kind of almost got to focus them down in a prolonged engagement. Spine crawlers really help against lings. We are seeing queens actually out on the map helping the lings of EvilZoe fight the lings of Eris, as it's kind of just two rivers running into each other as these bots are fighting. But Eris's attack seems to have failed. It's as EvilZoe, it's got up to third base. It's producing lots of its own lings. They're even on worker counts. Just Eris is down a base, down on, yeah, floating a lot of minerals, so short on larva because it's just been making lots of lings. It finally gets up its own third base, but that is kind of a signal that this attack isn't working, although Eris is still actually trying with this. EvilZoe's going for what is a ling run by, it seems. However, Eris is hot on the tail of these lings. 3 queens, 5 queens actually in the main base for Eris. Should have no problem shutting this down, so we're going to see the defender's advantage pivot towards Eris' side of the map. We are seeing lings get on in here, though. They're trying to target down a drone. They don't seem to be able to get any. And oh my gosh, this is just lings all over the place. This game is madness. EvilZoe sending out more and more of its own lings. However, they're kind of running all over the place. Still denying mining of Eris, and Eris really can't afford to lose too many more, well, really any workers, as it's down 4. Its hatchery still isn't up. Eris must have lost an overlord somewhere in there, as it actually gets supply blocked momentarily. Both sides are actually just spamming out as many lings as possible. EvilZoe did get up that roach warren, but it's yet to make a single roach. Eris is trying to get up its own roach warren. The queens are blocking the lings of EvilZoe's. Lings are still running all over the place on both sides of the map. Burrow's now on the way for Eris. That will be big. EvilZoe currently at 59 lings against 52. What a crazy bot game this is, as EvilZoe tries to get on in there with more harassment. It's kind of signature ling run-bys that it's so good at, but with 50 lings hot on their heels, I don't think they're going to get too much done, and we will see if this game reaches a roach stage. That one ling is really running for its life away from all those other lings. More coming on in, though, trying to get some drones, but the total wall of other lings as they try and make it through, but it really is just a slaughter. So EvilZoe's ling run-bys, I think we're a little bit ambitious there at this point in the game. We're now seeing Eris start to get out roaches. EvilZoe is attacking on in with lots of its own lings. It does get a queen, a bit of a better engagement here at the third base. It does elect to retreat, though, producing more lings. Eris behind this, though, now getting up the roaches is big, because if EvilZoe doesn't transition into its own roaches, it will just lose. Lings do not beat roaches in any significant number, really. I feel like, yeah, so EvilZoe is probably going to want to adjust its strategy potentially, although it does seem pretty hell-bent on getting up the lings. We do see more drones being squeezed out for EvilZoe. It is just queuing up these run-bys. Lings moving towards the third base. They do retreat, though. They maybe could have got a couple drones there, and they're still just trying to sneak on in. So we are seeing this kind of recurring theme of bot versus bot games in which the bot that is attacking seems to be the one that is at the disadvantage in the grand scheme of things. As I mean, EvilZoe's just thrown away so many lings, 183 dead lings this game, and it really hasn't got too much to show for it. It's kept Eris busy, I guess, and it is now squeezing out its own roaches, so that's important. Down on workers by about 8, though. The game is somewhat stabilizing, but yeah, EvilZoe has thrown away too many lings. 100 lings at the 8-minute mark in the game is actually quite a bit. Drones are being forced to burrow as EvilZoe attempts another run-by here, but Eris is hot on the heels. Eris may just be kept busy forever as these lings just keep going on in. They try and get drones. Most of them do burrow, though, to stay alive. This is buying time, though, for EvilZoe, really just ensuring Eris won't really get an attack off. We do actually see some lings for Eris run out on the map, so maybe it will get a successful attack off. EvilZoe's not even really focused on defending, it seems. It just wants to get more lings across the map, and it is now going to find this third base potentially a little bit exposed as lings are running all over the place. Even Eris, a bot that seems to have pretty much perfect defense most of the time, is getting a little overwhelmed, losing some mining time. At the same time, though, the investment on these lings is massive for EvilZoe. It's now behind 20 workers. Eris gets up a fourth base. Doesn't get one here because there's a ling burrowed there. But yeah, EvilZoe still squeezing out some more of its own roaches, but it is down on the workers by a significant margin. The roach count is currently 8 to 6, so not a ton on either side of the map. And the game stabilizes again, although EvilZoe's actually looking to go for a bit of an attack, but then it pulls back. Eris does have a higher army supply. Defender's advantage can be big, but really, as always, aside from that ling attack in the early game, Eris is just focused on the macro, up to 74, 80 workers, and booming, producing Ravagers, Roaches, and an 80 drone economy to a 61 3 base one is not great. And we even see that there can't be another expansion because of burrowed lings by Eris. That is going to potentially make EvilZoe start floating too much money. I think the only hope for EvilZoe in this game is if we're going to see the lings for it, or see Eris just attack. Because the defender's advantage is very big in these bot games, but man, oh man, Eris just squeezes out another 11 drones, hitting the 90 drone mark, getting up a 5th hatchery when EvilZoe is only on 4, well, only on 3. It hasn't even got up a 4th yet. We'll see if an Overseer gets made to deal with these lings now that that layer's done. Do we see an Overseer start instantly? A hatchery is going up in the main base, but yeah, EvilZoe, it's going to try and get that up, but nope, no dice. No Overseer yet either. Now 2 gets started. It's funny how there's a bit of a delay. It's not just instant. We had to see EvilZoe try and expand. Once again say, oh right, there is a burrowed ling there. So I guess the trigger for building an Overseer only happens when there's actually a hiccup there or something. We're now seeing, though, EvilZoe is on the defensive as Eris is coming on in here. EvilZoe saying underground units fun. It does have an answer for them, though, with the Overseers here. Eris is attacking on in. A beautiful concave, though, for EvilZoe. Transfuses are going down to heal up a lot of those roaches, too. That is big. Upgrades are even. Armor versus attack. Nothing too significant there on either side of it. EvilZoe is losing a bit of mining time, though, due to 2 roaches from Eris. Eris, though, also maxed out, so it can just keep producing more units and attacking non-stop. So while EvilZoe took a good trade momentarily, in the long game, things might start to go sour. Yeah, EvilZoe now fights into a bad concave of Eris. It doesn't even have tunneling claws, so its roaches are super duper slow. Mining has been disrupted. The 4th base never got up here, and Eris is actually just coming on in. EvilZoe is down 80 army supply, and I think we are going to see the victor here. Eris, once again, it doesn't win in the early game, but it was able to just macro up and crush EvilZoe here with a big attack. I mean, the amount of drones it squeezed out is ridiculous, and who knows, maybe if EvilZoe did get up a 4th base a little earlier, things would have been different. But yeah, what an exciting game, though. Lings running all over the place, and then Eris just macroing out. Great, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost near that 10K mark. I don't know what I'll do for a 10K subscriber special. Probably just cast more bot games or something like that. But yeah, I do appreciate all the support. And yeah, now we just gotta wait and see Eris clean everything out. It's just base is covered in creep, taking all the expansions. Getting all the upgrades and everything. And EvilZoe will not be able to hold on for long, as there's just no winning in a situation like this. Drones getting picked off, Ravagers and Roaches killing everything. And that is going to be that. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning on in.